Hi guys, today we're going to be learning about an artist whose name is Wassily Kandinsky. Kandinsky is a Russian artist who actually became very popular as a painter and artist in Germany. He was born in 1866 and he's known as an expressionist artist. Expressionism is a type of art that's meant to express emotions and feelings through use of color and lines. So you'll see a lot of bright colors and interesting shapes and patterns to help express whatever emotion the artist wanted you to see. Kandinsky loved art. He did art for his whole childhood and he even became an art teacher for a little while. He also really loved music and he learned how to play the piano and the cello. You can tell how much he loved music because most of his paintings are named things that you would normally name sheet music. A lot of his paintings are titled composition, which is what you would normally title sheet music if you're writing for a piano or a different instrument. He really loved to experiment with color. He liked to see how different colors would interact with each other. How when you would put maybe red next to yellow, it might look very different than if you put red next to green. And he loved to see the differences that colors can make just when they're next to different colors. One of his most famous paintings is called Square with Concentric Circles, which is this painting right here. The reason they're called concentric is because there's a big circle with a smaller circle inside. A concentric shape is just that, a bigger shape with a smaller one inside of it. With his painting Square with Concentric Circles, he was able to see how different colors interacted with each other. And he actually made a ton of different versions of this painting just to see how the different colors would look. Today I'm going to show you how you can make a tree kind of inspired by our artist Kandinsky using some of those concentric circles. I will show you how to draw a simple tree, and you don't have to be perfect at drawing trees because our circles can cover some of those branches, and then we're going to use lots of different colors to make our circles. So what you want to get is your drawing and coloring supplies. You can use crayons, markers, colored pencils, and let's get started. Alright, so for the beginning of this project, I really recommend you do it with pencil because the tree can sometimes be a little tricky to draw, and you also might not want to do the branches all black. In this one, notice how the circles cover the branches. So if you want it to be like this example, you definitely need to do pencil first. Let's start with the line for the ground. I'm going to do kind of a wavy, bumpy line for the ground. Yours could be straight or wavy, bumpy, doesn't matter. And then for the trunk of my tree, I'm going to do just a little bit above the ground, two straight lines that curve out just a little bit. So see, they curve out just a little. And then we're going to make the roots. So we're going to let this go a little longer and then have a point, and then it kind of curves over and we'll make another point here. And then this one can make a point too. If you're struggling with the roots, then don't include them. Just have the bottom be straight, that's fine too. And now we're gonna work on the branches, and you don't have to worry too much about making these branches perfect. Sometimes people get really nervous about drawing trees. With this project, you can cover the branches if you don't like them, and if you do like them, you can have them showing. So I always go up a ways, and then I have the tree kind of branch off in a Y shape to start. Then before I go all the way to the edge of my paper, I'm going to make a little branch coming off. And notice how when the branch gets to the end, it's skinnier and it's bigger where it touches the bigger branch. I'm going to continue this branch to the edge, make a point, and then have it get just a little bit bigger as it gets closer to the trunk, and we'll stop there. And I'm going to do kind of the same thing on this side, but maybe I'll do the little extra branch on the other side so it doesn't look the same. Okay, and then I'm going to make two more branches, I think. So I'm going to make one more that goes up, little extra branch, all the way to the end, and one more. Okay, so if you're looking at your tree and you're thinking that you do not like how it looks, then what you're gonna do is you're not going to trace over your tree right now with marker. You're going to leave it as it is. However, I want to show you how the two different ways can look. So for right now, I'm actually going to trace over this tree in marker first, and then color it in with black. All right, so now I have it all colored in. So something that will be different about this one from this one is when I do my circles on this new one, they're going to be behind the branches rather than in front. So again, if you prefer one over the other, then you just decide. So what we're gonna do is I have a whole bunch of colors here in my cup, and I'm just gonna choose one at a time. And I pick a spot and I start by doing a small circle of whatever color I picked first. Then when I grab my next color, it can be any of your colors, make a little bit bigger circle around it and fill it in. You can use any coloring supplies. Each coloring supply is going to be a little bit different. So I did crayons on this one, we're doing markers on here. So not only are you going to see the difference between how colors look when they're next to different colors, you're also going to see how different art supplies might look. So I just keep going, tracing around it until it's as big as I want it to be. I'm going to make sure I don't go too crazy and make it super huge so that I still have room for lots of other circles. Now if you did your tree the other way, like this one, you can cover the ends of your branches with circles if you don't like how they look, and that way you can actually cover a lot of the branches on your tree, just in case you're not super happy with how they look. But I'm gonna go through now, just doing one color at a time and making my circles all around my paper behind or in front of my tree. All right, I think I'm all done with my circles. You could fill the whole top with circles and that would be really beautiful, but I like where I'm at right now. I'm just gonna quick fill in the grass at the bottom. All right, and with that, I am all done with my Kandinsky circle tree. I think both of them are really cool to look at, and there's different things I like about each. I think it's fun too to look at the colors and just look at how different they look when they're next to other colors. Like when you see this purple next to this yellow, it looks super bright, but then you see this purple, which is the same, next to the green, it looks a lot more pale and dull. So you can really learn a lot about colors by doing this sort of project and just seeing how they interact with each other. All right, guys, I hope you had fun making your Kandinsky trees with me today. I think both turned out really cool, and I had a lot of fun seeing how different these looked actually with using markers and crayons on the different pictures. So if you made your own, I would love to see it, but I will see you guys for our next video. Bye.